My boyfriend finally told me he was cheating on me. Title mainly says it all. I had a hunch about it because a few months ago he started to hide his phone or turn it away from me. He never used to do that, or he did then showed me what he was looking at. We have been together for over 2 years now. We have known each other for 6 years. Today he asked about talking after work. We live separately and with our parents. I called him to ask why, and all he said was that he f'd up. Right there my head went to the worst. He finally told me over text since he couldn't over the phone. I told him to either say or text it. He said that it was an online only thing with a girl I don't know. I don't know for how long or anything like that. We are going to talk after work. I feel numb right now. I want to forgive but not forget. I don't know if that is the right choice. We were just talking about getting married yesterday. We just talked about what we want to do as parents to our own non-existencing kids. This feels like we are at a T-intersection with both ways being rocky. My dark side of my mind keeps coming back today. Saying that I'm not good enough, I'm ugly, that's why he did this, I don't deserve love or happiness, and that I should end it all. I know I shouldn't listen to it, and I am trying very hard not to. What should I do? P.S. I'm writing with at work and on my phone. Comment. This has nothing to do with you. He is a cheater who couldn't care less about you. I advise you to have this conversation if you want to, but then take a break, get away from him, work on yourself. Do not stay with this person, it will destroy you, you will feel way worse than now. You need clarity, and it will only come with distance. After this conversation with him, cut contact with him and work on yourself. He showed you he has no love, no respect, and no compassion for you. First off, I want to say you are a strong, beautiful, smart, and wonderful person and woman. Don't ever let a man question your worth, ever. The thing is, he decided to disrespect you and your relationship. That doesn't reflect on your character or the choice you made for loving him how you did. But, to be real, you need to leave or really reconsider if this will align with your soul or your future in the low run. Yes, people can change, but how they disrespected you won't, and he did exactly that. The thing you really need to consider is that he went out his way for an online relationship that probably will work or won't, cause he's caught up in a whole other fantasy world. You're 25 years old and have so much life to live. Please don't settle for someone who would cheat for somebody they haven't even met in person for. And also, there could be someone else who you might not know could rock your whole world and provide more than you ever could. Don't victimize yourself for his stupid choices. You are worth more than that. Love yourself first. Put yourself first. This is your life and future that you will determine at the end of the day. Take a break from this, reflect, and think about if this is really worth it, regardless if you want this or not. At the end of the day, he still cheated and didn't think a single time how this would ruin you or the relationship. Han, it isn't about you. It is all about him. He has a guilty conscience because you talked about marriage, and he's hoping you'll break up with him and be the bad guy. I know. Guy, think. If you want a cheater, you're set. If you don't get out of this and move on. This is just the cheating you know about. XO from a granny. Don't forgive him because he cheated on you, and don't accept next time in your life everything is acceptable but cheating is acceptable. Next story 2. My girlfriend wants to close our relationship and I told her absolutely not. I know it sounds bad, but hear me out. My girlfriend and I met on Tinder over a year ago. I've always been open and honest with girls I meet on Tinder in regards to what I'm looking for. A long-term open relationship. I want someone I can fall in love with and come home to, but I can't see myself ever being happy only sleeping with one woman for the rest of my life. Some background on my girlfriend and our relationship. She's a bigger girl, but she's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know what she weighs, but I'd guess about 200 pounds. I've always been attracted to all kinds of women. If she's got a pretty face and a great personality, the rest is just attitude and confidence. When we first matched we chatted for about a week when she asked if I was dead set on an open relationship. I said yes. She told me that's not what she's looking for but was down for a hookup. We hooked up multiple times over a couple of months. I was very open that was also sleeping with other women. One night after we hooked up she made a comment about how it's a shame we don't want the same things. I asked her what difference it would make between what we have and if we were an official couple considering I'm still sleeping around now. She thought about it and agreed, said she'd be willing to give it a try. So we became an official couple and set ground rules. No one we know, no sleeping with the same person more than 2 to 3 times, always use protection and get tested regularly, don't ask if you don't want details. She asked if she would be allowed to sleep with other men and I said of course. Fast forward to the present. We celebrated our 1-year anniversary recently and she's been talking about how the lease on her apartment is done at the end of August. We sat down and talked about moving in together and I'm honestly fine with that. I brought up that we should talk about adjusting our relationship rules a bit. She looked nervous and said she's been wanting to talk to me about that and said she wants to close the relationship once we move in together. I was a little shocked honestly and asked her why. She said that she thought she'd be okay with it and for a while she was, until one day when she texted me after work and when I didn't answer until late she knew why and it broke her heart. She also said that she has self-confidence issues, which surprised me because she always acts so confident, and it's hurting her to know I'm sleeping with women who are skinnier and prettier than her. I asked if she slept with anyone else while we've been official. She said she slept with one guy once and felt gross afterwards and said it felt wrong. I kind of felt my whole body sigh and asked her why she never brought this up sooner. She said she was hoping feeling like this would just go away and acknowledged she should have told me sooner but said now was the best time since we're taking the next step in our relationship. I looked at her and told her under no circumstances am I willing to close the relationship. She knows what she agreed to when we became official and it's on her. I told her I love her and I'm willing to go to therapy with her to work on her self-image and to help her with jealousy in an open relationship but that's my compromise. She stormed out and hasn't spoken to me since. I guess she told her best friend because she's been texting me, calling me a selfish asshole and that I should care more about her than getting laid by strangers. I told her it's not that simple but haven't really replied since. Is there any point in trying to save this relationship? Would I be an asshole for telling her to accept it or move on? Comment. This is a classic case of one partner hoping the other partner will change after they have been together for a while. It is completely okay for you to want an open relationship, and it is okay for her to not want one. At this point, since you know her feelings, I would suggest breaking up. I don't think you are compatible in the long run. You were very clear from day one. She must have thought you would stop eventually. It's her problem for going into something that she couldn't handle. I think telling her what you wanted before you got into a relationship means you're not an asshole. If you want different things and she hasn't talked to you since then, just move on. The answer to both of your questions is no. Your GF entered into this with you being as transparent as you possibly could. You made it clear when she asked after a week of knowing you. She knew that's not what she was looking for but decided to try it out anyway. Now she knows for certain that lifestyle is not for her. It's time to move on. I'd say you were honest with her, didn't lead her to believe things would change, and you don't want to change things. She clearly wants a closed monogamous relationship. You are not compatible, end the relationship and stick to it. Otherwise you are just wasting her and your time. Don't let her say she'll stay and deal with it remaining open. She'll be miserable. You changing what you want to be with her will make you unhappy. Not that you should change what you want, you are being true to what you believe. However, be prepared though the likelihood you'll find a woman who will be okay with this arrangement long term is pretty slim. You most likely will not have someone to spend your life with / a forever relationship. I don't know if this is her first experience in an open relationship but this sounds exactly like my first step into one. You made your relationship requirements and expectations and boundaries extremely clear and easy to understand. She agreed to them. Then, like me, she realized she actually wasn't cut out for it. Anyone in open relationships know that they aren't for everyone. It takes a special kind of person. She thought she could handle the emotions and realized she couldn't. That's no one's fault. What is her fault is continuing the relationship knowing full well you had zero intentions of closing it and just hoping you would fall enough in love with her to close it yourself, or at least agree to close it. She's associating an open relationship with you not loving her enough. She thinks she's not enough for you. And those are very hard feelings for a woman to process and understand and get over. This relationship ending is no one's fault. It's a difference on the type of relationship and future you want. No different than if one person wants kids and one doesn't. Doesn't make anyone wrong, just means that no matter how much you love each other, your basic fundamentals don't match, so it's just not gonna work.